Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hang on. Yeah. That's better. Hi guys, spontaneous Let's Go live show. Looks really bitty on mine. Is the pitch quality good on your end? Just look on comments. So, got 5 people in at the minute. It's going to be spontaneous, so people will basically start jumping in. As soon as you're in, say hello down in the comments. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is just sharing some news from the trip over in Japan. Right quick to be fair and to answer any questions, because I'm currently in jet lag mode, and what I'm trying to do is just keep myself awake, because at the minute my body is saying it's something like 3:45 or 3:45 in the morning over in Japan. So as it stands, yeah, I'm quite tired, but I thought, right, I've been keeping myself occupied. I've sort of run out of things to keep myself occupied with, so I thought I'd come live. And say some little bits and bobs. So I have invited Gaz over because it's always good to have a guest, but if anybody wants to join, just hit it up in the comments, and then I'll bring you on screen and we'll have a chat. But like I say, I've got some stuff to share of an event that I've managed to put together. So yeah, hopefully Gaz will be able to join me. But I've also invited across Mr. Tate as well, if he wants to come on to quiz me. Always worth a shout. But let's see what happens. So 7 people watching. Any questions, guys, just fire them in. I've literally been awake since about 5 o'clock 2 days ago. Obviously it was a long plane journey back, 13, 14 hours or something across the Antarctic, just to rub salt in the wound. It's a bloody horrible long flight where you're coped up in a box next to people that you don't know. So yeah, a 1 o'clock in the morning flight. Landed this morning at Heathrow, Terminal 3 at 6 o'clock. Got picked up about 20 to 7. Then we got a puncher on the motorway, so we had to wait for recovery there. Into work for a couple of hours and then back home. I've had a little snooze for about 45 minutes. And now all I want to do is to share some bits and bobs. I don't know if Gaz is going to join us or not. I just want to have a quick look to make sure that message went through, so just bear with me. Yeah, he has received it. I don't know if it's going to come on or not, though. I don't think there's anything else planned for this evening by any other YouTubers, or whether or not he may have other ties. But I'm going to share a screen or two in a minute. I'm just going to... I'm running a couple of screens at the moment. Obviously, you can only see the one, which that wasn't helpful, but this is. So let's have a quick look. Nice to starting to fill up. There's a few in now. Oh, yeah, Trev. Good evening to you as well, mate. Jay and Kaz in as well. Like I say, guys, you've got any questions about the Japan trip, fire them in. I'm always happy to answer. I'm just going to have a quick look at a couple of things on here. Now, if you haven't already, have a look on the YouTube channel, Evening Vix. Have a look on the YouTube channel. I have done lots and lots of recording while I was over in Japan, but it's really difficult as a dealer to be able to work a full day, go back, update your paperwork, keep tabs of what you're spending, what fish you're buying, where them fish are going to be located back in the shop. Because nothing worse than buying a load of fish without really thinking about how you're going to quarantine, because believe it or not, when it comes to quarantining your fish, you should never mix your breeders. Never ever mix your breeders, to be perfectly honest. Let me just have a look at my settings here, because that don't look proper good to me. It is in HD 1020. Just looks me. Yeah, so you can't mix your breeders. So before you go out there, part of the planning that I do is I look at what stock we've currently held in the shop, what sort of varieties we've got from what breeders, etc. On top of that, we have to then, as part of the winter sort of preparation, getting as many fish indoors as you possibly can. And then when it comes to going out to Japan this time of the year, it's what ponds I've got full against what ponds I've got empty. So, and then obviously the budget, what Nisai I've currently bought, and I've got shitloads of those. Those people that haven't seen already, I suggest you go over onto the website, because I've dropped shitloads of pictures of all of our Nisai on there, etc. So, right, let's have a quick look. Jeff's in the house. Evening, Jeff. And Suzanne in America, she's always trolling YouTube. Good to see. And Shane from Lewis Tree Care. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah, so went over to Japan with quite a long list of what I would like versus what I got were two different things, if I'm perfectly honest. The snow over there was absolutely insanely deep. And when I say insanely deep, last day we went up into the mountains, I kid you not, the snow was as tall as buildings, like houses, two-story houses, to a point where you literally couldn't see nothing in the road. So when you're driving through the mountains, you are literally surrounded wall by wall. And the only way that you could really see where you was driving is the little poles on either side of the road that just kept you bang in the middle. Yeah, it was quite phenomenal. I might be able to bring up a couple of photos. Like I say, I'm new to sharing screens and stuff, so and I am only keeping myself entertained, if I'm perfectly honest. But giving you, I thought, why don't I just give you guys an idea of what I've been up to. If I can find me photos on here, it's not as easy as it looks. Let's go on there. So let's do that. That. Go on there. Let's go on there. Share. Right, there you go. Right, so yeah, extremely busy on here. So let's have a quick look. So, for example, this little dude here, I was having a meal with Yamaguchi. Was it Kobayashi? No, Yamaguchi, I think it was. Yeah, Yamaguchi. And this dude here in the background is actually on top of his roof, and you can see how much snow's just on top of his roof. And he was pushing that out. But then if I look at something else that we got, you know, that's quite fairly tame, to be perfectly honest. Let me just turn that bloody moving screen thing off in the background if I can, and remember how to do it, because they've changed stuff on here now. Let's hide that. There we go. That's better. Yeah, so that on its own, and then I've got a couple of little videos with. I'll just play these off anyway, so you get to see. So you can see there just how much snow we've got. If you, I don't know if you can hear what's going on or not, but can you let me know if you can hear that? Can you hear that, Gus?
Yeah, slightly, not loud.
Yeah, but I mean, just look. This. Where was we here? We was at Kobayashi here. So just look above the car on that roof there. That's 6 foot of snow. It's,
you got way more than what we did while we were there, didn't you? Way more.
Mate, it got worse and worse and worse. if I'm perfectly honest. But yeah, mate, I am absolutely shattered. I ain't gonna lie.
I thought you would be. What happened on way on then?
Oh, I just had a blowout on the motorway, mate.
Oh my God. That's a bit dodgy, isn't it?
That is what it is, isn't it? That's better. Oh, mate, yeah. I've just been doing a bit of promo work because we've only got 26 people in at the minute. I'm hoping that may fill out.
Spread the word, guys. Let everybody know that we're here. We're live.
I didn't know if there was any auctions on or anything, to be fair. I didn't really want to step on anyone's toes. Not that.
I don't think there's. I think there is some matter on later on, 8 o'clock this evening. But
what with you, Gaz?
No,
okay,
not related to me. Mate.
Oh yeah, I meant with you, mate. I don't care about anyone else.
Get that. That's what I want. That's
you've got it.
I know, but imagine one like that. That's what is it? That's Tansho metallic kaku. What do they call it?
Some Ogon.
Yeah. No. God damn it.
I'll let
Ogon. Yeah. Okay. Eventually we got there. And a diamond. That'd be nice too.
Hiya, Lisa.
Maybe
Mark
Lisa.
Charles is in. Trevor's
Are we super
in.
zoomed in there, or is Mark? I feel like I'm.
Yeah. So, guys, message out. Let people know I'm live. As soon as we get up to like 30 odd 40 people, then I'll start to share what I'm doing. Fran Fret Steve. There you go. Evening, mate. Nice guitar, by the way. I think that's a new person I've seen come up, to be perfect.
Yeah, I seen him on Vince's live earlier, mate. That was.
Okay. I didn't watch that. I seen that Rick and that was on. I nearly jumped on, but I realised it was right at the end. So
they were a little bit. No. They were merry. We'll say they were merry as much as that. But yeah, it was quite comical.
So it should be, mate. Mate, I have been up since like.
You've been up since yesterday. Well.
Yesterday morning, Japan time.
Where did you go with Yamaguchi? You went out with Yamaguchi on last night, didn't
you? Someone's just messaged. Hang on.
Yeah, for a bit of something to eat.
Oh, we went up to Nagata City.
Nice. Had a bit of something up there.
Mate, we hang on, I'll show you, right? I'll show you what we had just while this is filling up, guys. So it's a bit pishy, but yeah, put it this way, Gaz, mate.
Well, it's as good as what I've got in front of me, yeah. Chicken curry with rice and noodles.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, look, you want to see? It's well good.
Right. Share screen. Oh, that looks good, mate. How do I get that? There you go.
Oh, what the hell's that? Is that strawberry dipped in chocolate? It is, isn't it? Mint.
Mate, I don't know what I'm doing on here.
Smash that.
Mate, that right there. All right. And then did I do another one? And then we've done this as well. With a chocolate straw and a caramel frappe or whatever it was called. And we was over in the gutter, mate. We've got about 300 things going on here. Stop screen. Oh, please be the right one so I don't cut you off. I knew I'd do something wrong.
You did it. You could have a perfect time. I could have just put this shovel full of food in my mouth.
Yeah, I was waiting to do that. Yeah. Well, put it this way, mate. I think in total we had 3, 4, 5, 7 chocolate dipped strawberries, and that cost 25 quid.
Wow. Yeah, the strawberries up there are quite expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think they can grow them over there.
They're like £7 for a box, but there's only 4 in a box.
And they're like size of apples, though.
But admittedly, they are pretty damn good size. Susan put.
Yeah, we went up to the city, done a bit of shopping, went in and had a look at your Gucci, your Louis Vuitton, and all that. It was that sort of high end market because Yamaguchi's over there they don't have much of a life, to be perfectly honest. So he likes to spend some of his money on some high end items, and why not? Because I would as well.
Yeah, I'm right.
So
That's one thing I did notice out of the guys within the koi scene, especially the more upper level koi scene. They're all very much into their designer
trainers,
labels.
Everything. It's a very Japanesey thing, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know what's quite interesting, guys, over there is the breeders. They hide a lot of things that. So, for example, I ain't going to name breeders, but there's certain breeders that have got some rather nice cars. You know, bearing in mind when you look at Cano, all right, 135 mud ponds, 2 members of staff. All right, he grafts his ass off, for example. All right, and most breeders are the same. They're not oozing with staff as many people would think. But the fruits of their labour, you know, it's very Tokyo Drift. They like all the sports cars and stuff, but they hide them because they don't like to show that sort of thing because it's like they're not worthy of it, and it's really strange. So you'll tend to see them working, but they'll have covers over there like nice cars and stuff because they don't like to flaunt what they've got, which is understandable. But you know,
I get that.
but there's a lot of people out there that then go, oh, you know, they've got this, they've got that. You know, it's like, well, yeah, I think if anything, they're more than worthy of having it. The amount of hours and graft they put in, they don't stop working.
Everywhere we went, there was always somebody there before we even got there. When you went back past as you were making your way back home or whatever, back to hotel and what have you, everybody were always packed up and still there.
Yeah.
Long days, long hard graft. I mean, watching him watching Takano go through his fish, we were stood there. We were in there for a good 2 hours, and he were going through fish after fish after fish after fish, and he never stopped. He didn't stop the whole time we were there. He just carried on going through them all. And we've got tons to still go through.
It's it's a little bit mental, mate. But you know, even up in the mountains, Gaz, when we had a drive around on the Sunday, and Sunday over there is a family day, so a lot of the bigger operations shut because they like to spend a bit of time with the family. But there've been that much snow that they're all out with their snowmobiles and clearing the snow, making all the breeders, for example, Marushan, he was out in his JCB, mate, with a bulldozer blade on, clearing all the roads in the mountains. You know,
they could get
It's not down to anyone else. They choose to do it.
Yeah, they all do it themselves, don't they?
You know, don't get me wrong. They're equivalent of the council, whether it's government or whatever it is over there. You know, you see them; they're constantly working on the snow. But there's just too much. By the time they've cleared the road, it's full up again. You know,
I'm not surprised though. When it was coming down, when we went to Yamaguchi, it came down. It started snowing a little bit when we got there. Then it stopped, and then someone said, "Oh, it's snowing again." And I popped out like 3/4 of an hour later, and it must have snowed nearly 6 inches in that time. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is coming down proper heavy.
Yep. And mate, proper heavy word, mate. I need to find a photo because it really. I'll put that one on.
Susan said, "Captain, did you take your chopsticks, dining slippers, and wooden cup?"
Yeah, everything, absolutely everything I took because you need them, don't you, Cass?
Yeah, because you do. Yeah, you really needed them. In fact, in some of the places where we went, though, there was a lot of people, like the locals that were dining in there. They had all removed their the footwear. But when anybody that was, wow, look at that, man. That's some serious amount of snow.
Honest to God, mate, absolutely unreal. There's one particular photo. I have to be careful because my WhatsApp saves directly into my photos. Obviously, there's stuff that really shouldn't be broadcast. So, yeah, that's apparent. Right. So, can you see? Oh, mate, this bloody mouse. Right. So, can you see the mouse on screen? So, this here is usually full of mud ponds. Well, I mean, it's full of mud ponds now, but this whole area, I mean, I think you can just see an outline of one there. But normally this is all this whole mountainside is full of mud ponds. But we stopped here to have a look and you just couldn't make anything out. It was so deep. I mean, this wall here is about 10 foot high of snow. And the only thing that keeps you going are these little poles. But generally, you can see the tips of them in the snow.
It goes red, yellow. They go red, yellow for every 12 inches of snow, don't they?
Oh, I didn't know that, but that sound. Oh, I like that screen. Oh, it's that one. Right, that's cool. Let me have a look. I don't know whether I've saved this proper, but yeah.
Trevor says there, isn't it Momotaro that's got Schumacher's Jordan F1 car?
Yeah, probably, mate. I mean, Narita's got he's got his own. Narita. He has got a forklift that has been souped up, so it's got a spoiler, its own paint job, and a Fortnum. Just mental, mate. Let me share this. Look, have a look at this. Share screen, window, photos, share. Right.
Oh, Lisa says she's got Cherry Bakewell sponge. That'd be mint to follow this, that is for sure. Yeah, look at that. But look at the car, though. That car that he's got is proper good in snow, isn't it?
Oh, mate, I know it's
super. Yeah, it just blasts through everything. And you know, some of those
hills, you can see the snow coming off the front wheels. Look. You know.
Yeah, so
and that's not a wall, that's just snow.
Yeah. That's just a sheer snow. I will save you some. Thank you. You're a star.
Yeah, I paused. I took the sound off because I think he was getting a bollocking. But look how high that is. Higher than the car. Mate,
yeah.
Shit you not, mate. It's unreal. I mean, there's a traffic sign there. Quite clearly.
Oh, Alan says there would have loved to come on live, but grandson's birthday party has to come first tonight. Jilly's letting me watch live, but not take part. Now you know who's the boss. Damn right we do. We knew before, Alan.
It's fair, mate. Like I said, it was spontaneous, so to be perfectly honest. But this is quite a journey. A lot of this road hadn't been cleared, believe it or not. We actually went one of the most scenic routes about. To get down to Marushan, and yeah, it's like you couldn't see nothing because the snow is
I know you are.
Yeah, so
I mean that's a fair lot of snow, and that vehicle doesn't mess about at all, does it? And it's four-wheel drive as well, obviously, but I mean it doesn't slip, doesn't slide, it didn't wheel spin around anyway. It went absolutely everywhere with us, and you got far worse.
I was blown away, mate. It was as good as a Land Rover in the snow, if I'm perfectly honest. You know, but like there you go, that's a view of the window right there. So right, anyway. What's this?
So you've got some news to share anyway, haven't you?
I have. Look at this, look. Now, one thing I didn't realise is that there's different types of bullet train, depending on what line you're on.
Oh, right.
So this one is on a completely different line to the one that you get out to Nagaoka, which is not quite as long in the nose, but that was a super long train, hence the reason why they've got two pieces. Anyway, it's just me.
The speed that thing goes is mad, isn't it? When you get that camber sway when you go around on corners, you can proper feel that little bit of a lean to it, but you don't feel like you're traveling that fast.
Well, you don't, mate, do you? And even better when you're in them big bucket seats. even better.
Yeah, those were mint, them, mate.
Right, so
In style.
let me just get some. Let me just find the video clip I want to get. I've got so many videos to put together. It's just I just physically didn't have the time in an evening to because it's such a slow, cumbersome affair transferring your video file. You know,
It's hard work, isn't it?
Well, I only have my tablet as well and my phone. Although it works perfectly fine, the tablet, it's just in order to airdrop it across, it was better to do one at a time because the signal's so crap out there. But so yeah, I managed to get one out, but then it weren't really to the quality I wanted. So I decided I'm going to put more together now.
Yeah, do it when you're back.
Yeah. So
admittedly, mate, when I was putting mine out each night, I was getting back, offloading them off the phone onto laptop. And then that was time to go out for something to eat. And I was coming back from something to eat and then sitting down for 10, 20 minutes, start a little bit of editing, and then ended up falling asleep a little bit, wake up after having an hour and a half sleep, and then spending hours and hours editing, putting them all together, and then falling asleep while I were extracting it and uploading it to YouTube, and then waking up and just thinking, right, we're on his way now. We'll just a quick check on mobile phone. Oh, it's done, it's finished, buff, and just put it live. But we're hard work, mate, doing it to do it like that. Perhaps not. Maybe shouldn't have made them as long. Oh, there you go.
All right. So for those people that don't know, this gentleman is Yamaguchi-san. Bit of background about this dude. He is a disciple of Narita. So he works with Narita at Number One Koi Farm, as and when required. In the meantime, he has got, I think, I might be wrong. You carry on, David. Carry on. Got to feed the animals. Yeah, he's only got, I think, 4 or 6 mud ponds. 4. There you go. So he's only got 4 mud ponds. So he has a little bit of a side hustle. He competes at very high end koi from the knowledge that he has gained working with Narita. And in discussions probably 3 months ago with Yamaguchi-san to try and get an event put together. It was touch and go because the amount of money that I've had to invest into this is a little bit naughty. But ultimately worth every single penny. But I've got to get the support from you guys. So I had the option of dipping in so every koi that he keeps, i.e. doesn't sell for packing, he goes through an extremely harsh cull, and he keeps nothing that is like mediocre, i.e. B grade or even A grade, if I'm honest. He only really keeps top end fish, and Gaz will back me when he has seen
100%,
mate. Labour. There's not a bad fish.
They're all tatty guy.
Absolutely every one of them. So he does state in this video it's a Tatagoi mud pond challenge. Okay, so I've spilt the beans. What I've managed to do is secure a mud pond and select 10 pieces with him personally on a completely exclusive, never been done before with Yamaguchi. Now this is extremely pressuresome to Yamaguchi because he is a one-man band, 4 mud ponds, and the fish that he selects and puts out are just manned by him, looked after by him. So there's a lot of pressure on this guy in order to deliver. That was one of the things that I spoke to him about when I was out in Japan, because the pressure I don't want to be on him because, like I say, he is only a small-time breeder. but he deals in high-end koi to a point where he wins a huge amount of trophies in the Asian market in the koi shows. He also recently just sold one of his koi for, I might get a slap on the wrist, but 2.4 million. Which when you go to a koi auction in Japan, when you get over 1 million, everyone starts clapping. As the bids keep coming in, they just keep clapping like this. And it's one of them. And I think when we was discussing it, it was 2.4 million. Although it wasn't him that told me, it was somebody else. And then he got quite embarrassed about it, which is quite fun. But that's the level of koi that this guy pushes in. You know, to be able to say that he sold one small fish for 2.4 million just shows the quality that he provides. So here it is anyway. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not, but I need to do it on this screen.
You'd have to turn it up a bit.
Yamaguchi-san, thank you.
So we managed to secure 10 fish. All right, and I'm proud of that because I don't think I want people to realize how difficult that is to achieve with such a small time breeder. So I'll show you the fish now that we've got. There will be a YouTube video coming out on it anyway, but a beautiful kahaku with regards to just everything. Clean pecs, great body, pattern to die for. Absolutely nothing to worry about on that, but a real high-end koi. Now people will see it's got a bit of bunny in the pecs. All right, please don't worry about that because that won't be there come the harvest in autumn. Because what he does, he's got a chemical that he puts on it and it dissolves the red out the fin. You know.
Yeah, no cutting.
No cutting. They all do it out there, mate. On their high-end fish, they'll paint a little chemical on it to dissolve the red out the fin. So
it's just applied with a brush, isn't it?
Yeah, happens.
It just disappears
right in front of your eyes. You know, it just knocks the colour out. So that's the first one. An absolutely insane Sankey. Dave, I ain't talking about koi auctions tonight, mate. I've just got back from Japan. Second fish, a beautiful Sankey. Quite a big fish pattern. It's quite an easy fish to read, this one, because the zoom is so up at the moment. No doits.
That looks nice, doesn't it? That looks that clean. That looks nice. That looks good.
How good the skin is, mate. Yeah. So I was speaking to him about sumi development within his spawn. It will refine. So he gets his sumi up very early. He says it doesn't retract back like a lot, but it does refine itself, i.e. shrink off. Which is what you really want, to be fair. Banging. Next one.
Obviously, all these crafty are from the parent stock, which is two females, one which is 93 cm.
Yep.
And the other female, which is 95 cm.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a male that he put them with, which I'm sure was 89 or something like that, just shy of 90. So these are all from good big parent stock as well. Not that but
no, that really does make a difference, and it's Sakai as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a Sakai bloodline, right, of two extremely large fish, right, and Yamaguchi, like when you go through the culling process, if he had more ponds and more staff, he could sell a lot more fish. But it's a one-man band, and what he chooses to do is really bring down his fish down to like under 1% of his spawn rate. And what's extremely good, he has got the ability to show you every single fish that is literally a centimetre big. That's how far he goes in depth with his cataloguing of how successful. So he can actually track for every time he lifts them at different points. He has got a little video so we can see the progress of every single koi.
So he's got them right down from almost first selection of first cull.
Absolutely. You know, another really lovely fish. He's only Sankey and Kahaku, but look at that, man. That is dreamy. Beautiful Benny pattern. Sumi in the right places. Little bit just behind the eye, which I really like. But yeah, dreamy fish. Benny plate, skin quality out of this world. You know, there's not a bad, obviously not a bad fish amongst these because they're like Tatagoi. So this fish is mine. It's when I purchased. Well, I didn't purchase it. It was a gift from Yamaguchi. So what I've done with this, what I've done with this is my challenge to those of you that take part in this. You've got to beat my fish. So that's the one that was he gifted me a fish, and this was one that I picked. Now it's not potentially an easy fish to read, which is why I actually chose it, if I'm perfectly honest, because it's a Sankey, but the Benny is so deep down in the skin, it's a gamble, right? But if that gamble pays off and that Sumi comes up where we think it might, and it does what it should, or we hope to, it's going to be a world beater, man. It is absolutely stocked. But yeah, there's no guarantees in it. That's the thing. So that's my gamble, but that's my challenge fish to you guys, whoever takes part. Another Sankey. There is only 10 pieces in total. And again, the pieces that I've selected for custom to buy is a fish that are a little bit easier to read, because not everybody has got the ability to know what's going to happen. So the Sumi is well up on all of the Sankey that I've chosen. But this fish in particular, it will show really good Sumi development. There's quite heavy Sumi on one side, but when that refines, that's just going to look insanely good. And as that fish gets bigger, that Shiroji that comes across that first dan will separate even more. But the sash is really good in this fish. And I'll tell you what, if you could paint a straight line on a fish, I think this fish is almost as close as you're going to get, if I'm honest.
I can genuinely tell you as well, this is no enhanced, enhanced video recording. That Benny is as rich as that, and it is as deep as that. It really is. They all were blown away me there in there, mate. Yeah, you couldn't. Everywhere you looked were just even the small. You know, did you see the one, the tank in the far left corner with the smaller little toe side?
Oh yeah, that's his number one.
Really
fish.
Nice. There was some really nice fish in there, mate. But
so that's the fish he won't sell.
Oh, that's yeah, no. I asked him.
Yeah.
Do you know at the back where the tank was at the back?
Yeah.
I said because that was covered over with a lid on. I said, "Is that where the secret fish are?" And he brought me over to have a look and said, "No, just water."
Well, I'll bring a little video up because I took a video. He pulled some out.
Did it?
Yeah.
Some of the little ones. Well,
yeah.
Little ones.
Yeah, but they are little ones. There is his little special projects.
Some of the little gems that is growing on, aren't they?
You know, but if we look at this fish, for example, right? So super big amount of girth going across there. Okay. Nice big head. Right. And when we look at the profile, all right, it doesn't pinch in anywhere. All right, it's straight as a die into a nice fleshy peduncle. Right. Oh, what have I done now? How did I do that? So when you look at the actual profile, all right? Big square, triangle, sorry, onto a smaller, but almost equal sort of sided triangle. All right, there's your profile. All right. This fish is 27 or 28 centimeters. Right. So if you look at, considering that's a foot long, all right, how wide that part would be, it shows you the growth potential in this fish is huge. It's the same with all of them, but this is a good example to show you. Right. And then when we start looking at the pattern, for example, we'll split the fish down the center line. All right, and then cut it across so you've got 6 segments. All right, so that is where you find the interest in the pattern. So
What the average in 45s, 50s,
50,
knee size coming out last
50,
season?
55 was his
average
last year. All right, so that is potentially what you're buying into on this challenge. All right, so you're buying as Tozai, but actually you're getting Nisai. Well, although not quite Nisai. But
they're still,
if they've got a good growing season, then you'll be looking at around 50 cm as a fish that comes from a Sakai bloodline at a relatively cheap price. So these will be priced, and people will go hell of what, because of how they are expensive, but at the same time they're cheap when you look at what you're going to get at the end of it. So these are going to be between 895 and 1295, depending on the fish that you pick, right? But I can tell you now,
carryover on top.
that no, Azakari is included within that price.
Within that,
right? So, I managed to work a deal with him in order to get these. Otherwise, you're paying more than that from him. Period. So,
yes,
have a look
Mark,
at the next
video. Day 2, I think, mate. The big round pond, that's pretty damn impressive, isn't it, mate? That blew me away, man. The amount of fish that were in there. It ain't that deep.
A little video.
Yeah, you got one as well.
Yeah.
You get there too.
Yeah. So as Kahaku go, quirky as fuck. Absolutely mind blowing, like beautiful head pattern that's slightly different.
Like a split pattern on head, isn't it? Like a split two places.
But look at the consistency in the colour from here to here, right? So when you start to look at how good the skin is and the colour plate, there is literally almost no transition in colour difference, right? And that shows super high quality, right? On top of that, the Kiwa is really starting to form in this fish, and you've got really nice uniformal sashi on across every dan, right? And that shows how much more is going to come in color on this fish. But they're all of equal sort of quality when it comes to that, because this is, like I said, the Tatagoi that he was choosing to keep. So have another look at that. That is just insanely good. Insane, I'd have that in my pond in fact, all of these in my pond every day of the week.
Yeah, me too, mate.
I just wish I could go, I'll have all of his fish, if I'm perfectly honest, because they're that good. And that's not sales banter by any stretch of the imagination, if I'm perfectly honest. It's really not. His fish are that good. Another Kahaku. Again, look at the colour palette. All right, a little bit more of a desired pattern on the head, just pinches in between the eyes. Potential for slight separation here, potential. And looking at the size he gets, I mean, if I pause it there, look at that body. Fucking insane, man. That is textbook for profile. The Kiwa here is insanely good. Can I zoom in on this bit? The Kiwa, it's a Marizomi Kiwa. Absolutely fabulous. Look at it there.
Yeah, that's where it follows with the around every scale.
Yeah, scalloped edges. You know, that is just generally an insane quality fish. You know, so whoa, mate. Next one. It's got a red eye. So what? It changes nothing. Again, great, right? A little bit of forward thinking on this fish, all right? There is sumi, but it's deep, right? And this one will be more of a modern sort of pattern. Hardly a lot of sumi on it, which, you know, small benny plate, a lot more shiroji, white skin, and then a small amount of sumi. We can see some in the tail, a bit here. There's some here, and there's some here as well. So depending on how quick that progresses, you know, patience is probably going to be key with that fish in particular, right? But again, an absolutely insanely good fish. And I think my favorite kahaku is this one.
That's nice as well.
You know, look at the fins. Oh, mate, I push space to pause it, and it's the wrong thing to do. Look at these fins. They are just great. A lot of people don't look at fins in fish, right? But actually, on high-end koi, they're extremely important, right? And one thing that we're looking at is this part, how in line they are with each other on the leading race, right? But then how full they are, right? Nice and rounded, but not like a Spitfire, right? You know, they are well within proportion. And again, the kiwa in this fish, exceptionally good. Very tight benny, sashi in the bennies as well, all right? But all in the right places. For me, exceptionally good. Shiroji is next level as well. As you can see on the head, skin quality there is exceptionally good. It's only Tozai, guys, remember? Only Tozai. To be this level is insane. You know?
They've got big body frames, mate, haven't they? Good bone structure to them all.
Absolutely, Gaz. I've got a little video. Let me see if I can see it, because...
Well, you're getting questions, mate. You're getting questions coming in.
Let's have a look.
Everybody wants to know if Will's wire bonsai was around the big koi pond at
I didn't
round circular pond.
I was looking at fish.
It wasn't.
Right. So koi auction. I don't know, mate, is the answer. Extremely busy at work. I've just had 9 or 10 days out. I'm having a couple of days off to try and get over my jet lag, and then I'll address that. We have got stuff lined up that I didn't manage to get out prior to going to Japan for operational reasons that I'm not going to go into. But we've got some stuff on WhatsApp ready to go out, but I want to concentrate on getting the operation back to being crispy as it is before we go live on that. So Suzanne, is that considered a common practice to remove red from the fins? In Japan, yes, absolutely. It's not harmful in any way. It's literally dissolving colour in a fin. It doesn't hurt the fish. It doesn't leave any marks. It just like rubs it out. That's the best way of seeing it. They're not
bleach
blade or anything like it. Just dissolves the colour that's in the fin. That's all. Neutralizes it. So it happens all the time in Japan on the higher end fish. You know, for the sake of a small brush that they put on it, and it disappears in seconds under your eyes. Fish don't even know it's been took out of the water. Would he call the remaining koi or sell them as a consolidate? Right. No, he calls literally so much of his fish. it's unreal.
Selects the best of the very best of the very best and keeps doing that as he goes through it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he leaves himself with around 400 fish total from spawning about 3 million. So, you know, that says it all. He does have stuff that he sells on, like that are good enough. He's literally got one other little small fish house. It's literally a couple of boxes of fish, but to be fair, if you get your hands on them, good luck, because they get snapped up quicker than hot dinners. Fendon Lass is in, are you, mate? Right, blah blah blah. Did you guys get videos of the big round pond? No, I didn't, mate.
It's there on. It's shared there. Look.
Have you got it, Gus? Yeah.
Shared it on your thing now.
Okay, I don't see it coming through. Has it been blocked?
No, it's there, shared on in the bottom bar side as a second screen for you to pop up.
Oh, right, yeah. See, mate, yeah. Yeah, I'll play that, Gaz, and then people can see it, mate. So this is Murray Hero. This pond's insane. There's so many big fish in there, and it's probably only 2.5 foot deep.
Yeah, it's not deep, is it, at all? I was very surprised that because it looks like a big body of water.
Yeah, it's
Looks
not
deep. But there's some bloody big fish in there. Absolutely.
There was one fish in particular here. There was a tancho, a Ginrin tancho, Kahaku tancho. Absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah.
It must have been 95 cm. It was huge.
It was the size of some of the Deutsch fish in there, mate. That's what blew my mind. Because I know, as we've said, you know, as I said overnight, a lot of people don't think they can get big. And when they do, they become misshapen or rugby ball shaped. But there's Deutsch fish in there that are massive and just bodies to die for. Profiles on them are unreal.
You know, that if he's got a nice bench by his side, if you sit there on the bench, you start picking out fish that you start seeing fish that you didn't even know existed. There's so many fish in there that your eye would always get pulled to one that you really like all of the time. But if you sit there and manage to have that discipline of like actually looking about, that's a good picture, Gaz. That.
We're just trying to give a scale of the size of it. Absolutely massive.
Yeah. You know, these fish are
that was
next level for size. You know, he had a Hisasui in there as well. That must have been 90 cm.
There was something of every stuff I'd never even seen before, mate. That though.
Yeah, mate, 100%. You know, and they're all real good quality, and quite often he's got stuff that's so big that you don't. I mean, that Shisui with the zipper down the back, mate, was next level.
But there you go. There's a full pan round of it all. One hell of a place.
This is only one of his fish houses. He's got loads of little ones in the mountains, but he weren't prepared to release anything to me this year. You didn't buy anything out of there then, Gus?
I've ordered two.
Two? Oh, mate, lucky, mate. Lucky.
They're coming. Look at that. You're sorry, man.
In a Zuma koi as well.
You could. I like this here.
What, the yummy?
This big metallic thing coming in.
Oh, what, the grey metallic?
Yeah, stunning.
That's what I mean. It's like you don't see a lot of these sort of koi in Japan.
Not of that size.
No.
But all of them in there, mate. They're just absolute powerhouses, aren't they? They're all huge fish. There was a really exceptionally nice Gin Matsuba in there. It was some dreamy fish, that. It really was.
Yeah, Marihiro is so I wanted some smaller stuff because I've done all my Nisai shopping anyway. Not that there was a lot of Nisai to choose from. Marihiro's always got Nisai in and Otsuka, but Otsuka had some really, really nice pieces in one of his Nisai ponds that were really affordable. And I said I wanted to select from it. He said you can't select, but I can pull you 8 pieces a box. So I said I'll take 2 boxes, and he said no, the minimum order is 5 boxes. So I said you can fucking keep them then. You know, and that's the power they've got there. You know, if he wants you to buy in bulk, so it's like, yeah, you can have 5 boxes. Well, I don't want 40 fish. I just wanted 16. But you know, that's where they run the show. You can't do much about it. Let me just spin this round because it's taken a while.
Oh, look, we got invited for breakfast.
Have we?
Breakfast or lunch by Lisa there. Look, guys, you can join us too. Thank you very much.
Why ain't you saving?
So go on then. Who or which one was your favourite breeder that you visited? It's got to be Yamaguchi, I would have said, but
Yamaguchi's
on a personal level, not business.
From my personal level, Yamaguchi all the time, mate. Even more so now I'm working in collaboration with him, just because to be able to boast that I've got a mud pond with Yamaguchi isn't a mean feat. It's not something that he'd be generally open to, and it's took a long time and discussions to get there, if I'm perfectly honest. But we got there, and you know, that for me is a testament. The fact that he gifted me a fish as well, you know, that's quite a big honor, because you never get presents like that. So I picked a fish that was super challenging, which I think he actually enjoyed as well.
You're going to submit and watch develop.
Rather than going down the easy route, I was like, right, I want like an extremely good fish that's hard to read, and pick this one out. And he was,
yeah, crafty
son. Oh, yeah. It was difficult. Oh, gamble. Yeah, that's what we want. He's like, I like, you know, the fact that he's already done the hard work for you, really, because you know that's his final selection, really. But it's about finding the gem within that selection that makes it even harder, you know, because they're all so good. It's about separating the best from the weak in something that's already super hard to pick from, you know. So you have to put an element of sort of study into each fish. All right. So what I actually done was net out the pond. I think I took out about 40 to 45 pieces, and then narrowed it down to 10.
Did you pick any out that he wouldn't let you have, other than the sold one? Did he have his own ones where he said, not them ones?
No, but he put 3 back because they're like, you learn something new. I certainly do. To someone of Yamaguchi is able to see stuff that you don't even look at. So he put 3 back, and when he showed me what it was such a minute detail that I'd never have even put it into my arsenal for selection ever. But it was like, you know, look here, like where the transition is from the head to the body. It just didn't sit right on the pattern. It's like, this is not a good selection. In it went.
He took
You know.
4 off. He took 4 back from Ryan and said, nope,
He wouldn't sell them.
he wouldn't sell them, full stop. He were like, no, those ones are for me to appreciate when I go down to the mud ponds, which I thought that was pretty cool, that, to be fair. I mean,
it keeps
Ryan
him
did,
interested,
but-
Gaz.
yeah, exactly. That's what he said. He told Ryan and Atsumi so that he could basically translate back to us why, and that was his reason, was to basically to give him something to still have a means to go down there for him to enjoy, watch and develop. So I thought that was
Absolutely.
pretty cool.
No, the ones he put back was because he wanted the best fish that he could possibly have. Although it was my selection, hang on, let's have a look what it's written.
Gaz Crafty Freebies, Rick and Matt next. Wow.
Hey, I didn't steal it. It was offered.
I got a calendar and I got a hoodie, but I didn't get a hoodie from a breeder. I got a hoodie from our guide, so that was a little different.
It's at sushi.
Yeah.
Not sumi. At sushi.
At sushi, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He spoke very highly of you, Gaz. as
Sumi's
well.
the other dude, isn't it? He's the guy that comes on from Japan
Misha.
as well.
Yeah, Misha. Yeah, they spoke very highly of you. I Mark Oxo Cube. Yeah, so personally,
End of month, mate.
it was Yamaguchi, because not only did I get to work for him for half a day personally on a one-to-one, learning from him, being able to select 10 fish to put into a mud pond of the quality that he's allowing me to have is again next rung up the ladder for me as a dealer. You know, considering now I've just started my 3rd year as a dealer, well, sort of 2.5, because I'm sort of halfway. This is the 2nd year of my own selection. The 1st year was already done for me, so it's the 2nd year of my own selection. To say that I've secured a mud pond with Yamaguchi on my 2nd year is just next level.
Pretty good, mate.
What I'm most excited about for the stuff coming back to the shop is the Yoshino stock that I picked. I'm really excited for that, and I had a really good day there at Yoshino, lifting his parent fish, looking at the size of them, seeing where they come from, and the quality that he gave me for the price that he gave me, again, is not something that a lot of people can shout about, because he doesn't sell to a lot of dealers. Yoshino is, again, quite a small dealer in comparison to mainstream, but ultimately the quality is very, very good as well.
Did you go see NNDs? Did you see all their Sankeys, mate? God damn.
I didn't go to an ND this year.
They've got the second koi house, mate. It took us over there to have a look in there, and wow, there were 45 cm then, 40 to 45. I mean, average was probably around 35 to 40, but some of the tosi that he got there were 45 cm, and it was. The only interesting thing that you see about them, they're not just in it for business. They're in it and they're mad passionate about it. He sat there for us. We were looking at him for a good 3/4 of an hour, maybe an hour. And he sat there, crouched down just by the edge of the pond and never moved for ages. And then just every now and again, he went, oh, and pointed one out. And when he pointed them out, mate, they were banging. They were mint fish. And so I turned around and said, 2 boxes? And he laughed at me.
Yeah, you'll be lucky, mate, to get one.
You won't get a fish out of there, never mind 2 boxes. But
Their fish,
next level.
Their fish are quite underrated in the UK. And I learned my lesson last year, if I'm honest. The Sankey that we had from there last year were fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But, mate, I had to really come down. I had to let them go for too cheap in order to sell them. because people wouldn't pay the money.
It surprises me that, mate, because he's real well known for his Shurawatsuri, but I didn't know that they did that much breeding within the Sankey range myself, to be fair. When he took us in there, it was literally all Sankey and Kahaku.
When you see his top, when you see his big stuff, and I'm not on about the ones that you seen, Gaz, I'm on about his like
the
4,
big
5, 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
That they are huge fish, full of volume and full of quality.
Yeah.
The problem that we got there is that they're quite expensive for a dealer to buy. They're quite expensive, you know, and to get them back, even the smaller stuff is expensive, which is why they command the price they do in the shop. But yeah,
there's a lot more expense going on though now, aren't there, with the increase in shipping?
Well, yeah, I mean,
travel around the world than what
the Nisai that we bought over this year, Gaz, right? So give you an example. Last year, Nisai shopping, you could get 5, 6, 7 pieces in a box.
Yeah,
right.
And now,
now most we got was 3 back this year. 3, you know. So the shipping costs increase. The price of your fish slightly increased for Nisai this year because of the sizes they were coming out of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they were all big.
Which means that we have to spend more money to get the same amount of stock back for fish that are relatively difficult to sell because of the price points that they come in at. You know, so I think this year we've got 280 Nisai in the shop, and they will range from 350 to £3,000, depending on quality and size. But what I've tried to do is get price points at the lower end all the way through to serious sort of money.
Yeah.
When I don't mean to speak the grade 9 serious money. Is £3,000 for a coin's a lot of bloody money in my book. You know, 300 quid's a lot of money in my book.
When you're over there, mate, it's not, is it?
No, it's really
is it?
It's nothing in comparison. But over here it is, you know. So again, with the Tozai, some Tozai were quite big this year. So where we would normally get 70 pieces in a box, that's been scaled down to 40. So in order to get like what you have to understand as a dealer, I have to look at how many fish I can get into a pond for quarantining purposes. And I don't want to understock it, but at the same time, I can't overstock it either because it makes it harder to manage the water. So you have to be, you again, so what, for the size that we had, I couldn't really take any more than 70 to a pond. So I was having to scale back to 35 to a box rather than 40, which means that I lost 10 fish because of the size of them. But in comparison to last year, I'm probably down 40 Tozai in comparison.
Yeah, with the amount that you could get in. Yeah. Did you get Aoki then?
Did I get I have got Aoki. I've got 200 pieces from Aoki already.
All of his Tozai?
Yeah, I ordered them in October last year. Yeah. So they'll be something very soon.
He does some extremely good fish, mate, him, doesn't he? And especially in his metallics. God damn.
Well, I've got some. Let's see if I can. Well, let me just show this video right quick because this was.
That was where probably one of the places that impressed me more than anything. The quality of his fish was somewhere else. The colours on them were so vibrant compared to. I'm not saying the other place were less impressive, but just the colorations of some of the fish and the benny and the patterns on some of those fish were unreal.
Well, his fish are in such high demand that the pre-orders take up all of the fish, period.
Do you know what surprised me more than anything, Crafty, over there was the amount of fish that they stocked in systems that some of them were like 20 fish deep. And when you walked into some of them places, they were literally rolling up the side of the ponds without throwing any food in. Just as soon as they saw you, they come rushing up to the sides, piling up on top of each other, and they'd end up like 6 to 8 inches deep out of the water, flapping around on top of each other, just climbing up sides of vats.
I'm just trying to find the video of the parent fish at Yamaguchi's. Is it this one?
Yamaguchi's parrot fish and mint, mate. That I hope he does what he said. We had a quick chat with him with Yamaguchi, and he was saying he was thinking about doing some Stanky Goshki crosses this or maybe next season. And I said to him, I think with the level of quality and the grading and the picking that you do, you really should, because I think you could get some exceptional fish out of them.
The problem that he's got is that he's done Goshki before.
Have you seen his Goshki male? That was mint.
He's done Goshki before. However, when at small toes eye level through the culling, they looked absolutely insane. He said, but then as they got to around 20 to 25 cm, they went so black that he had to cull the lot.
Yeah, they're too much.
Too much development.
Too much stomach come up for him.
So he had to cull everything. And obviously that's not ideal with the amount of time and effort and pond space that goes in. I can't find this video. I'd have to.
Trevor's asked you there, Crafty. So do you prefer to deal with the bigger or the smaller breeders?
Okay, so I'll put things into perspective. Mainstream dealers is right, so i.e. your bigger operation, your Dainichi, your Sakai, your Momotaro, Marushan, the bigger end the dealer, the harder it is to get a deal, because the fish are in such high demand that actually you don't know where you sit in the scale of when you pick the ponds out for a start. For example, there could have been 2 people in before you the day before, and you get there. There's still some banging fish in there, but they're not as good as what people have already taken. So you have to have your eyes about you and see what's in the nets against what's in the ponds. And then they'll charge you quite big money for fish that you see potentially as subcategory in comparison to some of the smaller dealers. But on the flip side of that, this is where Japan works like nowhere else in the world when it comes to buying stuff, because you could go to some small dealers and they will knock you out the most amazing looking fish at a very cheap price, which actually look better than some of the mainstreams that you'd pay probably 5 or 6 times the amount. But then you could go to another small time dealer and pay 3 times the amount of what a mainstream dealer would, because they don't sell as many fish, but they've still got to keep their operation. It's their only source of income. So there's no right or wrong answer to what you're asking. I prefer personally to have that experience of going to a small time breeder and spending a bit of time looking, knowing that you've got
more personal interaction.
Yeah, but it's got to be at the right price. The mainstream dealers, of course, I want to buy their fish in because the consumer, i.e. the customer, you guys, you want their fish.
The labels.
So I would actually say that there's, for example, Yoshino, the Tozai I've got coming over for that are fucking brilliant, right? If I put Dainichi in front of that, I could charge 4 times the amount of what I will charge for these, and you wouldn't have an inkling that I'd done that, if I'm perfectly honest, because the parent sets he uses are Dainichi, so they've got structure of Dainichi fish, they've got the quality of Dainichi fish, but they're not.
There's quite a lot of them that use Dainichi fish, isn't there?
Oh yeah. Well, honest to God, guys. So this is where bloodlines is quite important in your selection. I don't believe that there's a dealer out there now that really uses anything but Sakai and Dainichi and Momotaro, right? Because they're the ones that have got the genetics for the body volume of the modern koi. Right? Yeah. So now we're getting the volume into the shoulders and the power Right, that's what the modern koi looks like. Like behind you on that calendar, Gaz, that is the modern koi.
Yeah.
You know, and in order to get there, you've got to have that bloodline in your fish at some point. You know, so it's just that Dainichi and Sakai, they have their cream of their own spawning, so they know what they can do on the level that they do it on. Where the smaller time breeders, they a little bit like Rick down at New Forest, they have to be a little bit more select in what their parent sets are, right? But then they're no slouches. They still use 90 to a 1 meter size parent koi in what they achieve. It's just getting the right pairing that gets the results that's key for them. But they don't have as many parent sets to achieve that, like Sakai or Dainichi. They haven't got that. They also haven't got the operation to support that amount of spawnings. So
when you see a 90 to a meter fish with that body, I mean, I've seen them over here, mate, and I know I've said this already, like, but you see them over here, and they've got bodies to them. They have got a body to them. Nowhere, no knocking anybody over here and any of their fish. But when you see a fish of that size over there, they look like they've been in gym on steroids in comparison. The body mass that they've got is so much more different with that type of quality fish than what we've got, because no,
let me put it into context, Gus, right?
It's hard to explain what you see, mate.
So, over here, it's extremely difficult to reach the sizes of the fish that you see in Japan at the top end, i.e. the size category. There's a few people, right? There's more people than we know that reach that sort of level, but there's only a few people that we see that show their fish.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, like a very, very small percentage. Right, and this is where there's so many people that get their vision wrong. Right, a 60 or 70 centimeter koi is still a good size koi.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not knocking it, man. But
I'm not saying that you are.
And a 70 cm there, the difference would be about 10 pounds in weight. The mass wise,
you put another 30 centimeters.
Yeah, I mean that's
70 cm koi. You then put in another 15 centimeters.
Yeah, in diameter. They're like that. They're huge, man.
And it just changes exactly what they look like.
It does a hell of a lot.
And that's the bit that you see. That's the bit where you see the difference in like size in Japan. But you only have to look at what Odakan has got in his back ponds. Yeah. The level, the depth of the water, the width of the water, the flow that's going through, right? That's what you've got to do. And you've got to remember, every time you get bigger and bigger, that food that you've got to put in increases bigger and bigger, because you've got to feed that fish to achieve that. And it just gets more and more and more costly every single time.
In Odakan's, he must have had 35, at least 35, maybe 40 fish in that right-hand side one, only about 12 or 15 in the left-hand side one. But the body mass on all of those fish that were in there, and those ponds are like 12 meters long by 4 meters wide by, well, I don't know, maybe 5-6 foot deep.
Yeah, 6 foot deep.
The fish were massive, man. You could quite easily, if the fish didn't, you could. Yeah, they were massive fish. It blew me away to see fish and the body and the bulk of them in that size like that.
Yeah, it's different gravy. It really is.
It's like saying as you're saying there will be people out there with fish that body mass, but like you said, they don't show them. The ones that we see showing over here, you would look at those fish over there of the same size in length, but I bet you, without no underestimation, I bet they're 15 pounds heavier in weight and mass than what those fish are over here at the same size in length.
Did you see anything get lifted, Gaz?
I saw some of them come up to the top and got brought up to the top, and it were like, God damn. Yeah, they were big, but they didn't bring them up, not right out, just brought them to the surface. And when you see the depth of them, and they're like, I can't even show you on screen, but the depth of them is like, they must be 18 inches in diameter.
You don't
If not
appreciate.
more.
You don't. I mean, you appreciate them from top down, looking in, but when you actually see them come out of the water, the amount of flesh that them fish have got is absolutely insane.
Yeah, Alan's saying there, if I was retired, Gaz, and my koi was full-time pastime, with heat, food, water flow, I could get the same mass on that koi. Yeah, I'm not disputing it. It was just crazy to see
There's
fish
one
show with that mass.
there's one thing that I was put in there, right? Is
Heat,
full
food,
time
flow.
pastime.
Yeah,
full
you'd have to
time
be doing it full time.
Right, heat,
The
food,
amount-
water flow is the three ingredients that are required to achieve it, right? But it's the full time pastime which is the key that people would miss.
How much do you reckon Odicans feed in that big pond with all those pieces in there? Though that's got to be, they've got to be eating 15 kg of food a day at least.
Easily, mate. The amount of weight that he's got in that pond, yeah. I mean, it's got 2 feeders on both ponds.
Yeah, and it's heated in there, so they're fired up. There's two feeders going on it.
I'm just trying to find this fucking video because it's important.
And it was when you said to us, Crafty, have a look when you get to show. Have a look at the fish. Go spend some time and study them, and have a look at the fish that have been throughout the last 50 odd years or whatever. You really could see a massive difference from what the fish were as grand champions back then to what the grand champion was this year. Man, it's massive change. The profile of the fish completely is totally different.
The other thing, I might have just found it. There it is. The other thing with the show koi over there, you very rarely see the same koi in the show scene twice year on year.
Yeah.
You know,
it's all the next fish that they're bringing on that's already in development to bring up and get ready to be entering for the GC next year, which is a 7-year process. Oh, actually, I got some. I could show that, mate. If I'm the other difference is,
a lot of the people that show in Japan have never actually seen their fish, which is just insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, let me share this screen because I found it.
I'll share this afterwards, mate, as well. The development of the GC. I've got them here on photos. This is mad from what that fish.
I've got that.
You seen them?
Yeah, I got them on the day that it was. Right, so the video you won't get the full justice of, right? But this is Yamaguchi's parent stock. Right, now, this fish down here is the one that...
Yeah, this is the ones that he brought up to the top for me. All a lot of them. He brought all these up, right up to the top of water. And they're damn big fish then, mate.
I mean, they're huge. I mean, you can see the body mass in... That one there was the Sakai 90-odd cm, that one. But she just stayed planted down the bottom, just chilling out. So, like I said, the video doesn't do it justice. And he keeps them in a nice little small pond. Nothing extravagant, you know. Right, let me stop sharing that. But it's literally a very small clip. How the fuck do I stop sharing it there? Just there. Bring yours up, Gaz.
So that was 2020.
63 cm.
63.
Right, so... Right, before we progress, guys, right, let's have a look at this fish now, all right? So what I want you to look at on this fish is not only the body mass, right, but the sumi development and how much it changes year on year. Because that's the bit. Oh, it's disappeared.
I can all assume that's here, that just disappears in 12 months. And then it goes from 63 to 71 in 12 months. 2022.
Oh, look, it's reappearing. So your baby sumi's fallen off. It's retracted. It's started to tighten up, and then it comes back towards the surface.
2023, up to
now
88 cm.
Now it's starting to develop true, like, finished sumi. Go back one, Gaz. Right, look at the head pattern. All right. So what we'd be looking at there is the Motoguru in the fin. That'll give us a good idea of what sort of quality the sumi is going to be. Right. So there, it's very understated. It's still sat between layer 1 and layer 2 of the skin, and layer 2 and layer 3 of the skin, with layer 3 being the top. So now it's coming to its fruition. It's starting to develop proper. So that's where you're starting to get the real quality.
It starts to recede again.
But it's also tightening.
Yeah, but look at the mass difference in its head and shoulders.
And its fin as well. Look how much its fin's grown out.
Till the final finished product, which was the photograph at as the GC Grand Champion.
And it is, and this is where when people ask dealers what the sumi is going to do, the honest answer to that is, without knowing the development of the bloodlines, you're never really going to have a full understanding. You can guess, right? I mean, this fish is fairly easy to read. But 9 times out of 10, nobody would expect picture 3, top right-hand corner, for the sumi to do that. And I dare say there would be people that do understand fish that would then start to get worried that fish is not going to develop how it should, and probably would even consider getting rid of it at that point.
Well, if you look at this, I think it's this one, but it almost looks like the fish dips in.
Yeah, well, that's the growth.
And the head's bigger than, you've lost that.
The skull, though, Gus. That.
Yeah. And then it bulks out again.
Mm-hmm.
Then the head starts putting on the mass, and then that just, from that to that, that's one hell of a jump.
Yeah, but also if you look at, the picture's slightly better.
Better quality, yeah.
But look, if you look at the Benny plate as well, how more rich and defined that's come. And that's development with good food, good care. The Shiroji as well, just insanely good. That fish is just worthy of taking the prize, isn't it?
Yeah. Mint fish, mate. The scalation on that looked absolutely amazing when you looked at that.
With a fuka in.
Yeah. It was mad. It was like the scales are like size of 50p pieces.
Yeah.
And then like a 5mm gap all the way around every scale. The biggest I saw, somebody asked, the biggest I saw that was brought up to the surface was Yamaguchi's, which was 96 cm, is female.
Yeah, the biggest I see was a Dainichi fish at Yoshino.
Yeah, there are some big Dainichi fish at Dainichi, but
you ain't getting them lifted, not for anyone.
But getting to see that again there back at Dainichi alongside the Yamabuki and the Black Diamond and everything that had all been there at the show, that was pretty mint too.
So, let's have a couple of others that I've bought as well. I haven't shared everything yet. They are going into YouTube, but I also got the pleasure of buying 200 Shiro Atsuri from Kobayashi as well.
Kobayashi's.
Yeah, the funny guy up in the mountain. Yeah, he's hilarious.
Is that the dude that was rubber tackling you?
Yeah, that's him.
In snow.
It was like it was like being with kids, mate. I ain't gonna lie.
Trevor asked what the age was of the grand champion, 7-year-old, mate. Seven-year-old fish.
That had come in a very expensive box of water.
£1 million it sold for, didn't it?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't look at things like that, mate, to be perfectly honest.
Which is,
I didn't even know he'd sold it, to be honest.
yeah, there was some Chinese bloke that bought it.
Oh, don't surprise.
That's the owner of the fish.
They fucking buy everything. That makes our life as dealers really bloody difficult, I ain't gonna lie. So these are Yamaguchi's #1 koi, i.e. the ones that he won't sell.
That it was, so yeah.
Now, I was really interested in this fish, but it's got a deformity. But he's keeping it to learn from it, even though it's deformed. He wants to see how it develops.
Was that the little Sanka?
Yeah, all of his little Ginrin Sankey all genetically got the same issue.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said. See if I've got a bit of a longer video. I've done little snippets more than anything. There we go. This one is his #1 Sankey. So I'll do it on this screen. Can you see? You can't see the cursor now, can you?
No.
Yeah, it's twatting it.
You can see it now. See it now. It's on now.
Yeah, I can't move that though. But this is his #1. And I was quite surprised. So I asked questions about the Sumi development because that's quite a big, heavy block. But he said that will pull right back and it won't look anything like that. But when you start seeing where the other Sumi is and the Benny pattern that's got really good sashi, head pattern to die for. Yeah, not a bad fish in his #1s. Well, there is a Ginrin Sankey, but you know, look at that. You can just see the quality all over it, man. Look at that Sumi. You can just see the Sumi placement now from that side. Fucking brilliant, man. Yeah, he wouldn't put a price on it.
But all these fish are individually priced, aren't they?
Yeah, every single one of them, yeah. And that'll change depending on who you are as well. And whether he wants to sell them to you. That's why they change. You know, which is something like extremely important. If you want your dealer to get you a fish, you've got to give them a budget they can work with.
The
when they
Becco,
ask you what's your budget, that's where people tend to get a little bit worried. But you know, the difference is you can pay 2 million or 3 million for a fish like that, which is setting you up as a tozai with potential like insanely good fish. Or if you want some at 500 quid, you got no hope of getting some as good as that, you know. So your expectancies are out the wood. That Becco as well was fantastic. Yeah. This Becco. He would have sold me that.
It would have.
Yeah. He gave me a price, but I decided not to go for it. I'd rather put the money into the mud pond that I've got. But you only need to look at that, mate. That fish, beautiful. No.
Yeah.
I love the fact that everyone's having a chat in the comments. That's mint. Let's have a look what else. I've got a little box of delights that are coming. I don't know. I probably haven't saved it into my videos yet. I've sold this one. I'm hoping this. Oh, where's that gone? I'm hoping this fish makes an entrance on the show scene this year. If I can find it again.
So you got a lot of clips to flip and spin there.
I've managed to secure one of Yoshino's prime pieces for it's a competition fish through and through. This is going to be a contender in the show soon. And if I'm honest, guys, when we start looking for little nice tozai that can compete at a small but high level, we've got an absolute gem with regards to a 3-step pattern, really tight sashi, and the kiwa just a dive for. Absolute insane. This fish with a structure, when we get that around 30 cm, we know that is just going to absolutely so that, guys, is serious. You know where to come, guys. We're stepping it up this year. I'm going to hand over in a minute, and hopefully Yoshino will give us a little speed as well.
So that's where I bought it from. Here.
You what? Yeah. How do you pronounce that one?
Absolutely no idea. You pronounce it with Yoshino. And that's Yoshino himself. Taking a while. I think they're downloading from the cloud as we go through.
Do you know what they were saying? You got a lot of the breeders to do a little bit of a talk, didn't you?
Yeah, but I mean, what I wanted to do is show people it's like, everybody sees normal, Ryan and Tim Waddy. They're always out in Japan. They get seen exposed as being in Japan. So this time, what I thought I'd do is, get a few videos of me in Japan working and talking with the breeders as well. It's like I don't just want to be seen as a dealer that doesn't have that sort of exposure. So, the idea of doing that was to buy some of their better fish. Some of their better fish and get them to give me a spiel, while I'm there,
Ready?
They're Tosai again.
Yep, they're Tozoi.
There's some good sized fish in them, Bo.
もいいので、将来楽しみだと思います。品評会で活躍してくれるコイになることを祈ってます。コアと3家はもう墨が良くて、目にも良くて、素晴らしいコイになると思います。コアはちょっと、大きくしてもらいたいような体の流れがいいので、すごくいいコイになると思うので、はい、将来楽しみにしてます。この度はお買い上げいただきありがとうございました。
Thank you.
Nice fish there, mate. Don't need to be a legend have to be dead.
Do you fuck?
I thought the term legend meant they'd passed.
I've got no idea, mate, but he's a legend nevertheless. This was the #1 shower that I bought off of him. That's staying out in Azakari and is still for sale. Try and get it on. So, fucking this thing here. How the fuck do I move that? I don't. Which is a shame. So, when you look at, again, a comparison, GC, right? When we've seen that that Gas shared a minute ago with regards to the sumi on this fish is extremely similar. Coming from a parent set Dainichi, you can see where the sumi is lying. It's in a very decent place. The balance between the three colours in the show is extremely even as well. So you've got 3 colours on the head, which is a must. The Shiroji quality is excellent. Benny plate is all the way through the fish. If I can move it forward a little bit, because that. So here even finishes down into the tail stop. So when you look at the Benny placement all the way through that fish, real good Shiroji quality. Sumi still very underdeveloped, as you would expect, but so much more to come. I'm excited, not for the pattern, but for the size of this fish. It is a monster for a tozai. And when let me just shut him up. And when you look at the haku, look at that Benny plate. It is mint. I really like the head pattern. It's quirky. But look at the Kiwa. That Kiwa is excellent all the way through. You know, good skin quality, quirky head pattern, extremely good body structure as well.
Tia's just said, hey, how was your trip?
Very good. Hiya, Tia. Oh, it's you. Yeah, excellent. With regards to buy-in, it was very difficult. I'm not going to lie. Stuff that I really wanted to get my hands on was very difficult to get hold of. Some of the stuff I didn't buy because they wanted too much money for what it is that they was offering. So you walk away from them. So yeah, we didn't get everything that we really needed, but what I have got again, I think this year is better quality than last year. And considering the quality of our fish in the shop went up last year, I'm excited for this season because not only have we got some excellent tozai coming in, we've got an excellent Nisai selection as well, and I've got some absolute bangers that I've not shared. I'm not going to share tonight because I need to pull everything down.
I said, get them all in the video, mate, and make a good.
Yeah, you know, this is literally just a taster, and just like I said, it's me trying to stay awake because of the jet lag.
She said that. Did you find us any diamonds?
Oh, I've got loads of diamonds, mate. Loads. There's one fish that I've got. I can't remember the name of the variety off the top of my head.
There's one with a T on it.
No T's. It's that bloody rare. I've never seen one, never heard of it, but I managed to purchase it. And it's a fish that was or should be blue, that has got no blue in it whatsoever, but has the same markings as a blue variety. But I can't remember the name of the variety off the top of my head without going into my notes to look. So
Lisa asked Crafted, how much do you think you would sell that for when it comes back to the UK? I'm guessing that must have been the Kahaku because it was around about that time it popped up. So the Kahaku with the 2 spots on it said.
Right, so those 3 fish that we just seen are for sale now. If you want to, they're not the shower. I'll tell you the price now. Let me just. Hang on a minute. I've just had a message that. Right, so 3 people have messaged that shower all while we've been online. All right, so let me just find out.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Lisa said no. The shower.
So there's all my fish. I'll do it right quick because there's stuff on there you shouldn't see.
If we sell the house that we live in, if we sell the house we live in and live in a dustbin, then we can buy the shower. Won't be that much, Trevor. Not quite.
3,500. And that includes Azakari. It's his number one shower at Yoshino.
Plus, that's staying out there.
Yeah, those three are staying
All
out
three
there.
of those.
So what he done for me going up there, he'd selected
Yeah.
a load of fish out for us to pick from. But he then allowed me to choose 3 fish for Azakari out of his Azakari pond. So to put things into perspective, when a dealer offers you fish for Azakari, is offering you his cream, right? Because they don't want to put fish in that is going to take up pond space that are for their best fish. So, for example, if you want, can I have Azakari on that? 9 times out of 10, they'll say no if it's not a fish that they've already earmarked for Azakari. So they're going to do it anyway, but to be offered the ability to buy it means that you own it, you pay the Azakari fee for its upkeep, but you're not buying that fish that's in the bowl, you're buying the end result, i.e. big. You know, you that's what you're buying. But what you're actually doing is you're getting the ability to buy it before. If it turns into something that is absolutely unique, monstrous, you're not buying it for 3,000. That fish then becomes £8,000 to buy, and that's the difference. So you've got to take a little bit of the gamble, right? It takes the pressure off them, or the pressure on them to keep it alive, right? But it also means that their gamble is that if it turns into something special, they will offer to buy it back off of you.
Yeah.
And that's when you then earn a bit more bread, right? Or you tell them to fuck off, right? Or you hold it as a bartering piece, right? And that's the difference between having the ability to keep a koi that is offered from their select fish. They don't do it for everybody, you know. And that's something for me that, you know, I can quite honestly say this year has been different to last year. You know, the fact that I've took custom there. First time I've shopped with Yoshino, but I bought quite a lot of I bought some rather nice pictures Nisai off of him in the autumn, which is potentially why I got the ability to do what I've done. I'm just trying to find some now.
Have you seen that message there from Mr. Tate?
So I haven't gone firm on a date with her yet. It's a little bit of a this is what I'm going to be, or this is what I'm doing. These are the fish that are coming to market, but I've got pictures and stuff that I need to put our logos on and things like that, and then drop in the videos with the pictures. And once all that's done, I'll do another announcement so people can drop online and buy them. So, but it is going to be a competition as well. So I'm yet to decide what the competition's going to be. Potentially, it's going to be the best size and beat the dealer, which is if anyone can beat my fish, they'll get a prize as well. Maybe a trophy or something like that to keep it interesting, you know. But yeah, I haven't got a date yet. Like I said, I only got back from Japan today, so I've still got a lot of working out to do. So, but I'm glad. Al, send me their details, mate. Yeah, I'm trying to find a bloody. I mean, I'll tell you why I couldn't find what I was looking for earlier, because I was only in videos, which is helpful. Present. Yeah, screen. Bloody long-winded, isn't it? Window. Yeah. Nice little box of tricks.
You got Ronnie's on as well.
How's Ronnie on? Are you Ron? So, some of your faves there, Gaz.
Yeah. In fact, mate, I actually did find an extremely large appreciation for the Garomos over there, mate. God, tell me, there was some beautiful one of those. The Yamabukis, mate, are always going to be my number one favourite fish, but Goshkis, from seeing all the Goshkis over at the show and how nice it was, and the Garomos, how nice it was. Yeah. That's Kobayashi's, isn't it?
I nearly bought this for me. I offered it out. No. I decided not to. I was trying to get him to keep it as a Kari. He wouldn't keep it as a Kari. He's going to keep it as a Kari anyway, but he wouldn't sell it and keep it as a Kari, which means he's got a fish that he wants to put in its place. But this was next level, mate, for an Aragoki.
Yeah, they're normally a lot more sporadic scaling pattern, aren't they? Whereas that is quite
uniform,
all the way through it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a mint fish, that.
You know, for me, a really lovely, different sort of fish. Definitely a winder fish.
Yeah, they are, Vicky. Some of them. Oh. How much are the yammies going for there?
I haven't priced anything yet. They're not going to be over expensive, but I haven't priced anything yet. That's all in the pipeline. But there you go. Look,
just looks beautiful, doesn't it? Did you see all great big landslides where all the with the weight of the snow it just slipped downside the hillsides?
Yeah, there's quite a few of it.
Yeah,
but look, they've got things in the mountains that catches.
Yeah, they got like supports, haven't they, to stop it from rushing straight across roads. I really would like to see to see it in the beautiful scenery with all the snow around it was absolutely out of this world. I mean, winter is one of my favorite seasons. Everything does look beautiful and picturesque. But I really would like to see a lot of these areas with all the green, lush vegetation growing as well, and see it all in the summer months as well firsthand.
As you can see, I've been busy filming.
Yeah, you've got a lot of editing to do, mate. I had over 768 video clips, and I had to delete 2 days worth, so I had room to bring them back.
So these are coming back, hand select. They're real good quality fish. They are really good quality.
I swam with them.
Yeah, in fact, you're right. You're at the right place.
I did swim with those fish. There's a claim to fame. Not many people can say that.
You know, if you wonder, look, how much is that one there?
There was a lot of fish in that pond, mate. A hell of a lot. I could feel them knocking and bouncing off me everywhere.
So that's Otsuka. So this is Otsuka, this gentleman here. Famous, that's Atsuka. He is the guy that drives us around Japan.
Yeah. Lovely bloke as well. Absolutely mint, that fella.
Yeah, I've ordered loads of these as well. They're coming back. There's my face just to prove I was there. It weren't just a stock photo. So this
My
is me. I don't know if they're downloading off the cloud. So
Yeah,
this
there's
how
the
they
actual.
present them.
He's got a 1.2 meter by 1.2 meter, hasn't he? By 1.2 meter deep net. And you scooped him out of. It's literally like the world's biggest scoop. My phone's fine, Trevor. It was fine straight away. I used it within minutes of having it. Well, it were in there for about an hour, but yeah, perfectly fine. Mate. Not done any. It's the waterproof anyway, out there, but. I'm actually using it now.
I was a lot more selective this year, so I weren't so much rabbit in headlights as I was last year. So my selection was better, I think. Just looking at the
It's Kikasui are lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
They're
I've got some.
absolutely mint.
Well, you guys be the judge. You know, you can.
But you got some of the what is it as well, didn't you? Look at what they call them green ones.
What these?
Them there.
Yeah, I can't remember what they are off the top of
Oh, I
my
forgot the name of them.
That's a bit too
There,
zoomed.
that one, right in the middle.
But there you go. That's
I've got one of them now.
There's also a metallic tancho. If I can pause it in the right spot, that I'm open to offers on. Just there. That's quite a special fish. And my eyes
Is that
popped out my head.
a Tansho Kikasui?
Yeah. You don't find them.
Dorigoi, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Trevor, as well.
Yeah, that is special.
Ryan's got one, but with a double spot. One on the nose and one on the head.
Don't
double
count.
Tancho.
It's not. It's made up. Double tancho don't exist.
I know, he just took piss when he flicked it out. That's the original.
I'm going to tell him it's a failed tancho. But yeah,
it was
so
like
we got them coming back. Right, that's a Yoshino. Look at the skin. Look at the depth of the sumi.
Yeah,
it's actually better than what I'm looking at on screen. It don't come across as good as it is.
And if those little bits come there back at Peduncle and they're just to the right of the dorsal,
they'll come, Gus.
Nice little.
And this will refine, so this will shrink off, right? And then when you look at the Kiwa again, like Kiwa's there.
Well, that was one thing I was told over there. It was if, not when. If the sumi comes, and it's always an if and not a.
It's not a guarantee. It's more. This here is definitely going to come.
If you can read the fish, and if it comes, and the picture will become what it is in its development, then
yeah. I mean, this was an Azakari. This is his Azakari selection. So
yeah, it's going to have a nice little bit showing there, and it visible coming up. Just the back.
What we've already got here, the quality of the sumi already. All right, bearing in mind it's young sumi quality, right? It's only going to get better with age. You know.
That's a nice fish, no.
You know, that's available. Trying to find.
It did, Jeff. Jeff just put in there. You picked my fish at Yamaguchi, didn't you? He did.
That was my number one pick.
His number one pick.
Well, Jeff, I'm not going to lie, mate. When I seen it on your video or picture, wherever I seen it, I wasn't particularly impressed with it. It looked fairly weak in the Benny, but then when I seen it I didn't know it was your fish, and I picked it, and it was like, oh, that's Jeff's, and it looked completely different in the flesh. So whatever picture it was that I seen didn't do it any justice whatsoever. But yeah, you've definitely, in my opinion, got one of the best fish in this pond. I ain't gonna lie. I know how much that fish was worth as well. So you definitely paid for it, you know, and quite rightly so, you know. But one thing's for sure with Yamaguchi's fish, that they stock. He gets proper body on him from his mud ponds.
As soon as Jeff said he were buying it, he's dibs my Benny, you see. So when day comes, if it ever comes, it's Jeff's. So I said to him as soon as he baited it, I said, Jeff, I got dibs on that. When he outgrows his pond, yes, thank you very much. Cheers, Jeff. I'll sell it, you crafter.
Oh, I don't want it, mate. I wouldn't. You can't buy a fish and sell it, mate. That's your Japanese fish, mate. You got to keep it. I wouldn't buy it.
Oh, I won't be selling my fish. I were meaning when I obviously get the dibs on Jeff's fish, because he likes to grow them too big for his pond and then moves them on.
Let me just airdrop these across to the computer.
Midori guy, yeah, that's the one. They're a bit different, aren't they, the Midori guy?
Yeah, people go mental for them, mate, to be honest. Oh, that's photos. I don't want fucking photos. I want the video.
I'm sure it will, Grave Digger. Might want a new home when it is Jeff Snow. We're like that, what the earthquake. Tremors.
Right, let's see how I do this. I've just lost you on my screen now. There you are. Present. Share screen. Share
I'll
screen.
wave now just in case.
Window. Share. So, show quality Gromo. That's up for sale as well. That'll be in the website soon. They are coming home. They're not Azakari, but an exceptionally nice little Gromo that was selected. Really nice balance pattern.
It's nice, huh?
Again, good keyword across the back of the shoulders. The Sumi's still developing on it, but as it stands, when this fills in, that's going to be banging. A real good piece, that one. And another showfish.
Didn't you have that? Didn't you have one in a bowl, a kahaku? Oh, there you go. That's it. You had now I know which two they are.
So this is
you had both of them in a bowl at once, didn't you?
Yeah. I was waiting for these files to be transferred. So again, another exceptionally good kahaku. I mean, I'm going to stop it if I can. It's not huge, but again, this is where you can fuck off. Pause. Right. So when you look at the balance of that, it's only a young toes eye. All right, but look at the Benny plate through that. The fins are beautiful and clean. The Shiroji is on point. Again, Kiwa is exceptionally good on this fish for its age. Exceptionally finished. You know, that is fantastic. Let me do, if anyone's interested in that.
No, I didn't, Lisa.
So that will be that'll be £995. But that's the quality you're paying for on that. You know, that is a showfish. All right. So if anyone's interested, £995 on that. Again, plenty of potential. All you've got to do is is put it to size really, and keep the quality that it's already showing right there. And yeah, so if anyone's interested, hit me up on that, because
kiss a road on it, man. God damn.
It's very, very good quality. Cheers, Mark. You know where I am, mate, if you're interested. Cheers, Lisa. You know, and cheers, Jeff, for buying my fucking
for buying your fish.
yeah. I have got I've got a Sankey from there as well. Let me just double check where it was from, because my brain's a bit fried. It's from Maraju. I've got a Sankey as well. I picked a Sankey, and he sold it to me, and then he come back and said, I've made a boo-boo because I've already sold it. So he put that one back, and what he's doing is he's selecting me one of equal sort of measure, with regards to pattern quality, but next level up for the same price, because he fucked up. So I'm just waiting for the photos to come through on that.
Simon there. Simon says, I thought I heard £95 there. I was just about to say dibs.
No, it's not 95 quid, mate. Unfortunately. I wish it was. I wish you could buy fish like that for 95 quid, mate. We'd all have
I'm right.
fucking insane amount of pond, like fishing our ponds, wouldn't we? You know. And then final little bit. Let me just make sure I can show it. That's the one I want. And at the end, yesterday, about this sort of time yesterday, this is where I was in Tokyo. I know it's a bit of a weird thing, but this is how good they are for their taxes. In your jump.
Yeah, they do everything for you, mate, don't they? Take your bags off you and lot.
Door shut. And next thing you know, it's the guy said to me, "Is the temperature of the cab good for you?" Which is better than standing out there. It was fucking freezing.
Yeah, I've got to admit, while we were in the centre of Tokyo, I was pretty cold walking around there. But when we were up, going around all the farms with all the snow, everything, never even noticed feeling cold at all.
It wasn't as cold up there, guys.
It wasn't worried.
No.
Tokyo were cold. We're mint though to walk around there. They're absolutely brilliant.
I thought I'd just get a little bit of the light show that they put on as well. You know, that's actually in office windows, which is absolutely insane. They're weird, mate.
It is an amazing place, Lisa. It's somewhere. If you're into Takoi and you're all up, you've got to get yourself on it. Save, obviously. I mean, it's not cheap. I was very fortunate to be given what I was given, but I will definitely be saving up to go again. 100%. It was amazing, and it is an amazing country, amazing people, the most polite people I think I've ever come across. Even with a language barrier that there is, the level of respect they have for each other and individuals and everybody there is next level.
It's they're sometimes over polite.
Yeah, so honestly, Crafty, I would say, yeah. There was one point where I held the door open for a lady, and she just literally stood there bowing for ages, and I'm thinking, "Are you going to come through, door?" Then I obviously realised that she was waiting for me to go through the door, and I felt a little bit like I shouldn't be doing it that way around. Oh, you had the good seats too,
mate. When I got over there, guys, right, bearing in mind I'd done it on my own, and a lot of people are quite daunted by it. I went and bought the ticket, and I was like, "There's only one seat available," and it was this one. You know, it's
they're fully reclined, vibrate, massaging chairs and everything, aren't they? Them, all lot.
They're amazing, mate. It's like,
yeah,
I don't even know what these videos are, mate. To be honest,
careful then.
No, they're of Tokyo, but I don't recall like filming some of them. But
go for it, Mark.
No,
Just
you've got to come over, mate.
Contemplating cancelling March and May's holidays. Yeah. Okay. You still got September, August, and November, aren't you? You can have them free instead.
Well, Japan's going nowhere, mate. So, you know, it should be on anyone's bucket list. I mean, what I will say is
the family jet there anyway. Like, just get yourself. Charter a flight.
Anyone that's going over there off their own back, you really should save some money to buy a fish at the same time, right? Because actually, in a way, I was glad I didn't take anybody this year because it was hard enough just for myself. I don't think it's up. I was gutted that you weren't there, guys.
No, I know what you mean. No, the amount that you've got to do, I imagine it's difficult, mate. Especially when you're trying to do what you're doing and concentrating on what you're trying to get for shop for yourself for clients.
Yeah, it's I wasn't successful in the orders that I was given because, to be perfectly honest, mate, the budgets that I was given wasn't enough in order to secure the fish.
Yeah,
that
understandably, mate, and all, because some people's expectations of what you can get out there. It's like that fish, 900 odd quid. That's not. There were places where we went and we was, don't ask how much these fish are in here. If you can't make an offer on these fish, then these aren't the fish for you, kind of thing, because these are all top-notch fish in here, and the prices are individual.
If you're not taking,
you got to ask how much.
$2 to $4 grand for a fish, right? Then, if I'm honest, the best thing for you is to wait to see what the dealer brings back with him. Because, to be quite honest, we're always looking for the best fish. I mean, I've shown you tonight what we're getting. Even like hand picking in the ponds, you haven't seen everything that I've got. But when you're pulling, 2,000 fish up and you're only taking 70 of that 2,000, right? We pay more money for doing that because you're taking the best stock out the pond, which means that the best stock that's available to us at that time is coming to our shop. So there's always going to be something for somebody, at the right price. So if you're looking for a fish of 500 quid, that's not a budget. That's not a budget unless I can fill a box up of fish of that value. That's not a budget you can play with. £1,000 is not a budget I can play with unless I can fill a box up. Really what you want to do.
You can't go there and buy an individual fish for a person, can you? You've got to buy another 4 fish to go with it. Or 3 fish to go with that.
30 fish to go with it.
Go with it, yeah.
And then that puts the dealer in a predicament because you don't want to let the customer down, but at the same time, he's got to be realistic. And is that stock what I need for the shop? Is it resellable? Is it gonna meet the demands of other customers? How long is it going to sell? Because bearing in mind, when you bring back, 4,000 to 7,000 fish, that's a lot of fish to move, and it's got to be the acquired taste of everyone. Now, you're not going to be successful of 7,000 fish. You're going to have 30% of that stock left at the end of the season. Now, I watched a podcast earlier that come out today of somebody that's setting up a store. And what I will say is that there's a lot of learning to do, right? It's like you can go to it anywhere in Japan and buy their best stock. And at the end of the season, you're always going to have stock left over, and prices will always reduce at the end of the season, right? But what that is, it's the end of, sort of like the end of the line. There's nothing wrong with them fish, and they're all potentially good fish, but there's been better fish for the customers that have come and purchased because they haven't taken them.
Yeah, that was like that at Hero when we went there. All the Nisai that was there was the back end of what he'd got from last season. But there was some exceptionally nice fish there, which made me think, well, goddamn, the quality of these, just how good what was the stuff that was here prior to that.
That's right, you know, and it's the same in Japan, but you know, they're also fucking extremely cutthroat. They want that space back, and to be quite honest, if they don't sell it, it disappears.
Yeah, there was a whole lot that we were looking in that was, and I mean, some of the fish that were really good in there. The whole lot were sold, and they were taken out lot.
Yeah, if they're not sold, they still want that pond space. They're gone.
Yeah.
You know, because they'll just bring next year's stock in where, you know, as a dealer, you can't do it. So as a dealer, end of that stock, you're going to reduce your prices off. And it does not beg the question. Paul, I'll come back to you, mate, in a second, dude. He does. So at the end of the year, right, it's not about how much money we make on the koi that we sell, because actually at the end of the line, when we're selling our fish at a reduced rate, what I'm trying to achieve there is create more pond space for new stock, right? I'm not in fact, I'm devaluing stock by knocking the prices right down, but there's a reason for that. It hasn't sold in season, so therefore I want to move it so I can buy new stock for the new season. It's no less valuable. All I'm doing is reducing, getting a little bit of money back, generally losing money or matching, depending on what the fish are. And it's not because they're worth anything less. It's merely down to retail.
You need the space, don't you?
I want the space, but I also want that money back so I can put it into the new stock.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're listening to other people, right, and saying, oh, you know, how much money are they actually making? It's not about that, because if you see the overheads of my koi shop, you fuckers would fall off your seat. You know, our electric bill alone is £80,000 a year. Right? Then you got your wage bill, your food bill, your water bill, your treatment bill,
your wage bill. I mean, fucking hell, that's what tips mostly.
Yeah, well, I'm on pop star wages, mate. You know, 24 grand a year. It's you know, that is the cost of koi over here, mate. You know, it's we do everything that we can to keep the prices as low as we can, right? So at the end of the line, I will say it because I know that the podcast that I read is trying to say that he's going to do something new, something different, and I wish him all the best. All right, but he's really got to be careful of setting himself up, because it's going to come across. You know, if you're going over to Japan, you think that every fish that you buy, you will sell in a season. You're either not buying enough, right, or every single fish that you have bought is pretty much to order, which is nigh on impossible. You will always have end of the line stock. You know, it's simple as that. So, you know,
you're doing extremely well to sell everything that you've got in a shop and be cleared out by end of year, but you've got nothing to tick you over for those clients and customers that come in throughout the end of the year, have you? If you're selling it all up in your season.
Mate,
I don't think I've ever seen a shop empty yet.
Which I know of one shop that buys just enough to see them through the season, and then they'll come right low, but they don't get the amount of fishing that we do. Yeah. Now, I would much prefer to have a selection than a limited amount of stock. because it gives the ability to browse, you know. And the other thing is, like, you know, there's fish that you buy that look exceptionally good in Japan, and then they change, like, either for the best or for the worst.
Yeah.
You know, so some fish will go up in value because the quality shines, right? And you pay for quality, you know. And some fish devalue themselves.
Well,
If
we've all bought a fish, haven't we, and put it in a pond and it's turned to shit.
Yeah,
All of
you
us
know,
have done it at some point.
but that's just one fish, Gaz, that you've picked.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But when you're buying in the amount that you're doing, there's going to be a good percentage that might develop more Benny where it really shouldn't be. Sorry, Sumi where it shouldn't be, and end up smothering the fish and making its pattern look totally off-putting.
You know, so when I listen to these words, right, and that's all it is. It's words, because there's some beautiful ponds been built, right? There's no water in them. You don't know how your water's going to react. You don't know what your stock's going to do. You don't know what stock you've got available. And you may find that you're buying stuff that you need to buy just to fill your pond to make sure that your shop's full. Because the other thing is, if you've got a lot of ponds, you must get a lot of fish to fill your ponds. And if you weren't prepared to pay all the fucking money in the world to get them filled up, then I would rather have a full shop of different graded fish than what I would half a shop with the best fish in the world that are very hard to sell. Right? There's so many variants of how a shop operates as well. You know, it's all bravado that you're hearing at the moment.
I don't know. Yeah, not heard this one.
Yeah, I'll tell you off air anyway, Gaz, and you'll be able to see it. But you know, what I'm saying is, don't just listen to words. All right, you and Trev, that is so right.
Yeah,
I don't know the background of this guy that was speaking. You know,
that's one thing. While I were over there, that's one thing that Trevor, you've hit the nail smack on the head there. To see the level of respect and relationships that Ryan has got out there, and obviously Crafty's got out there, it's you aren't just walking into these places and getting the kind of deals that you're doing and what you're doing without that level of respect. And it's not just a one-way thing; it's a mutual thing. And not just with one, it's with collective groups that introduce you to others. And it was very much so. That's something I really did notice, a lot of a mutual respect for each other whilst they were over there.
Put it this way, all right, as a first-time dealer going to Japan, I don't know, I'm not talking about this gentleman that was on the podcast, because I do wish him all the best. I don't know enough about him, all right, but just because I didn't know enough about him, just stuff that was saying was very in a perfect world. And I could see just so many barriers that if he hasn't got these relationships, or he hasn't got this knowledge, or if he hasn't got this budget to spend, then he's not going to deliver on what he's already saying that he's going to. I just know he's not, because it's impossible.
I would imagine
he might already have that. I don't know.
I would imagine without any I'm not saying I don't know not about this, whatever this is, but I would imagine that without any formal relationship with them as prior, most places wouldn't even open the doors to you.
They do, Kaz, but what they sell you
in what you would be, yeah,
are not the quality fish that you think you're going to buy.
Yeah.
Right? Because believe it or not, you could go to a dealer's, mate. How many ponds are all sold?
Loads.
But are they? That is the question. Right? So,
well, you see a lot of
their way of saying these fish are not for you.
Yeah.
Actually, without actually saying that. Right? So, you know, there's some fish they won't even sell you because they know that you're going to pick the best fish out of it. Simple. Right? And that just leaves them with a shit. And I was hand on heart. You go in, there's dealers there, mate, that will say, yeah, they're sold. And you look and you go, no, they're not. Right? There's dealers that will say, oh, if you come back tomorrow, these fish aren't for you. I've got other fish for you. right? And what they'll actually do is net a pond up and then replace it with better stock because they know who you are. All right, they've got more fish houses. When someone's got 130 mud ponds, Gaz, the 2 ponds that are for sale are not the only ponds he's fucking got. He's got fish houses elsewhere that will go and bag up and come or take you to another fish house.
There's a lot of them have got fish houses sporadically scattered about everywhere.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
I'll bring this up. I just think how many average koi Ryan has had to buy. All right, so it's not just Ryan.
Right? Oh no, I would imagine I would imagine this has gone on for years and years and years and years and years of all the dealers that have gone over there throughout from the very beginning. I mean, imagine what it must have been like for the guys that were the first ones out there to go out there and start thinking, right, we're going to purchase koi and we're going to bring them over to the UK and we're going to start this market over here. I would imagine it was a very difficult avenue to navigate down and through to be initially do that in the first place.
It is. I mean, in Japan, money talks, Gaz. Right?
Oh,
if you ain't got the fucking budget, you ain't getting access. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Right. And you've also got to be seen to be prepared to buy average koi 1 year in order to get average koi the next, and then the better stuff the next. So, you know, you have to actually pay your way in and be seen to want to do business year in, year out.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I'm fortunate enough to be able to spend a lot of money in Japan because we've got a big shop. But if you haven't got that ability, mate, it's either auctions for you, i.e. Japanese auctions where you're potentially paying through the nose for the best fish, or you're buying bang average fish all day long. You know, and to be honest, it's like I buy at every level. I buy at top end and I buy at low end, right? And that's because I have to, because I haven't just got high end customers. I've got people that aren't even into koi that are just filling their garden ponds up. So, you know, I have to buy at every single level.
Did you pick up any tamasabas while you were out there?
I did not.
Did you see any?
I certainly did.
Yeah.
I've seen some that were like 3-year-old and fucking £8,000. Yeah. But no, I didn't. I've got, I don't know, 30 or 40 from NND in the shop. That I haven't even marketed them properly yet. So, but you know, the season's not yet begun. But they'll fly out.
Not far off, mate, is it now? Though it's not. We're not far, really.
You know,
better weathers are coming. Eventually.
I hope we've got a better summer than we had last year.
Yeah, me too, mate. 100%. Because last year were dog shit.
But right, anyway,
anyway, we're all on summer lease. So I'd agree with that one 100%.
I think the bags under my eyes show how knackered I am. But
they look more like travel bags, then, mate.
Mate,
tell you what, it surprised me just over there. Were a couple of days before I felt kind of right, but I'm waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm hungry. Waking up hungry, thinking I'm hungry now, and I should be eating or something. It feels weird.
I'll tell you what I am buying. It's a little bit off topic. I'm buying a Japanese toilet.
Oh, they're cool like that. Jet wash for your backside and heated toilet seat.
You get that little, you know. But then you only use 1 square of fucking of shit paper, man. It's great. You know, I'm going to save a fortune on toilet roll once that's installed.
He's doing it on purpose, Trevor. He's literally doing this in the hope that when he gets so exhausted by 9, 10 o'clock that he goes, I can go to bed now, and he'll be awake at 2 in the morning. Yeah, I'm still waking up at 5:30 every morning, and I can't. My sleep pattern's way off of whack, mate. It's proper out.
It takes a while to get back to it, but
yeah, it does. Imagine doing it on a regular though.
It took me 28 hours to get home.
It's a long ass time, isn't it?
Yeah, 28 hours. You know.
Yeah, I always used to think, Mark, jet lag, what a lot of crap, but man, it's not at all. It does knock you sideways. It knocks you out of shift for a week or so.
Cheers, please. You can tell my eyebrows are up here just trying to keep the tops of my eyes up.
Force you out. That's because you sellotaped it to your forehead.
Cheers, Trev. And of course, I agree with you 100%, Mark, on that as well. You know, Mr. Kempo, I don't feel tired. I ain't gonna lie. I know I'm tired. I don't feel it. I could sit and talk Koi all night, but
when I were out there, Crafty, I mean, I've said this, but twice when we got back in from a night out, and we'd been out, only had out for something to eat, so we were back to his rooms like 8:30, 9 o'clock ish on most evenings, sometimes a little later. But on those nights when we were back, I just sat on bed, put pillows up against the headboard, sat on bed, and just, you make a quick coffee, sit there, and then I'd wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, slumped against wall. I'd just bang, gone. Now I never fall asleep like that, but I was just gone, and I woke up with my head cricked against wall, thinking, "God damn my neck!" I'd been there for like 3.5 hours. One of them with a laptop on my knee, so my legs were red hot. That were a bit of a shock. Video, it was the video that when I'd finished doing it, when I'd finished editing the video, when you're using CapCut, it always starts playing the beginning of your video. So I got woke up, startled by music playing, thinking, where the hell am I? It took me a good 3 nights before I felt right, before I could sleep through properly.
I can't even read that.
Didn't used to bother me when I was younger, but it's a bitch now.
Yeah, you ain't wrong, mate. You know, I mean, I'm only 27, mate, and it's killing me.
You wish.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut us off there, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. I know it was Mr. Kempo. Just to answer your question, mate, you clearly joined a bit late, which is understandable because I just come on. So have a look back, and you'll see a lot of koi that I've bought, mate. I've put a bit up tonight. So keep your eyes peeled on YouTube. There is. I love it when people keep you on, mate. Post me up a picture, man. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Keep your eyes on YouTube. I am going to be dropping some videos. There'll be to give you an idea. This year, I am hell bent on doing a lot more YouTube stuff on the fish and the development of the fish. Even if it's a 10-minute video or a 15-minute video, because I think that the shop needs it. A lot of people that watch YouTube tend to enjoy that sort of content, and I haven't done enough. But I'm at a place now where I know my trade enough now where I can turn my attention to putting a 15-minute video together, and with the stuff that I've learned being in the trade, be confident enough to be able to talk sense without actually battering myself down by other dealers and stuff, which happens.
I was just going to say to you then, but you stopped anyway. I want to say, stop rubbing that head, man.
That's because I'm tired, mate.
No, but if you keep rubbing it like that, it's already, a couple of bigger rubs like that, it just be gone.
If I do it, mate, it means I don't have to cut my hair anymore.
Just keep doing back bit then. Stop doing front bit.
I'm bald in there already. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining us, mate. You are really great. It's always good to have conversation.
It's nice to see you back, mate, as well.
Yeah. So anyway, until next time, guys, do your thing, mate, because I can never think about to sign off.
Usual thing, guys. If you've been enjoying this kind of content, do us a huge favor: like, share, subscribe.
You bunch of cricket bats.
We'll see you next time.
Guys, probably be on Thursday with you guys as well.
Happy days, mate. Hopefully we might be having Rick and Matt on as well.
Oh, that'd be good.
That should be funny.
Right,
good night, all. Take care.
See you soon.
Have a nice weekend. What's left of it. I'm off taking